Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today we are going to conduct another lab session or lab tutorial, and today we will learn a Proteus tutorial because this is the second software that we are going to use in this course. And uh, before we go and check what is Proteus itself, let me remind you about a video which we have already seen in our theory classes. So if you remember IO code programming that we have done, and this diagram specifically in which we connected an LED with RB1 pin, and we wrote a code for turning on this LED, right? So this is the thing that we're going to implement, and this is the same code that I'm going to use today in this tutorial. And we will implement this circuit in Proteus, and then we will also use this PIC18F microcontroller in Proteus environment, and we will learn how one can actually build the Proteus project with MPLAB integration code, right? So let's proceed to our stuff. First of all, let me start this Proteus. So I have Proteus Design Suite 8.0. You can install any other version. The steps will be similar for every stuff. So every version of Proteus. So how I'm gonna do it? You have multiple options. So, but I will start from here. We will start a new project. So let's click on this new project. And it takes some time to start because we are starting it very first time. This is the project name. This is the extension of this project. Let me highlight it for you. This is basically the project extension, which is PDSPRG. So you do not need to change this extension. What we have to do, we have to name it, right? So let's name this project Proteus tutorial, because this is the first time we are going to use this Proteus. So Proteus tutorial, right? And then start. Okay, go to next, right? This is the new project or from development board. So right now we are not using any existing project, so we will be choosing new project. And you need to check the path where you are saving the document. So I have just saving in documents of my C drive, so you can choose another path as well. Go to next. Okay, this is the second thing, second option that you have to choose, or second step in this project development. You have to use create schematic. Yeah, there are two options. You may create schematic later on while your project is already created, but we will follow a very easy path. So we will create schematic diagram at this stage. And for this, you have number of size according to page size. You have number of options available. You can go for landscape A0, A1, A2, but we will stick to default status. So we will follow default design templates. Okay, default, and then click on next. And right now we are not interested in PCB layout, that but if you have designed a well-defined project, and you know that code is mature, circuit simulation is mature, so you can create a PCB layout using this software as well. But right now we are not going to create any PCB layout, so we will select do not create PCB layout, and then click on next. This is very important step of creating this project. So here you see two options: no firmware project or create firmware project. So okay, you will choose this second option, which is create firmware project, and from this option you will choose the family of the microcontroller or microprocessor. So we are choosing PIC18. Next thing, you will choose the specific IC for the controller, which is PIC18F452 in our case. So we will choose PIC18F452. Yeah, here is it. And compiler we have chosen by default is MPSM, since we are using MPLAB. Okay, that next thing, we have to press next and finish it. So that's it. In this schematic diagram you can observe this IC. Okay, that's it. This is how you will create the project for MPLAB uh, file or PK18F452 microcontroller. You can see it here. And if one want to zoom in. Okay, before we further proceed in Proteus environment, first of all, we need to build our project in MPLAB. So I have already written the same code, which I have shown in that tutorial. I, I mentioned it earlier. Okay, so we have to change a code bit here because we will put these two lines which will actually turn on the LED which is connected to RB1 pin in an infinite loop, and we will do it using unconditional branch. We have also covered it, and we will use unconditional branch, short branch, which is branch, and we will use a label here. Let's say we say repeat, and we will put that label over here, repeat. So why actually we did it? Because we want to put this thing which is the purpose of this embedded system or purpose of this microcontroller to be repeated in infinite loop. So, and this thing is true for every embedded system or every microcontroller system, because they actually run the code for infinite time or for the full time. So once you will turn on the microcontroller, it will continuously perform that specific task that you for which you have written the code, or for which you have burned the code inside that controller. So to repeat the task, we are putting that task inside this infinite loop using this short branch, which is BRA, and label is used here, uh, repeat, and we are putting that label above that task in the program. So this is the task, and task is to turn on the LED which is connected to port B. So we will make this project or compile this project in MPLAB environment. Okay, it is succeeded. So job is done from MPLAB environment. Now we will switch to Proteus environment. Okay, now we will complete the circuit or connect the required peripheral device. We know that for this specific task, we need an LED to be connected with this microcontroller chip, and there are various pins you can observe. We know that PIC18F452 is 40 pin package IC, so you have multiple pins available, but right now we are interested in port B, and specific pin would be RB1. So here you can see this is port B. I hope you can see it. Let me highlight it. Right, this is our port B, and this is the specific pin that we need, RB1, right? So this is this specific pin that we are interested here. So we will connect an LED with this specific pin. So let's connect the LED. How you can choose an LED? LED is basically a device or peripheral device that you can find over here. You see, this is the first option for which is used to uh, slide down the device or adjust the device according to your screen. So this is just for adjustment purpose. Let me adjust it. Okay, and once it is selected, then you can go to component mode. So right now we are in selection mode, where we can actually move the device across the screen, and then there is a component mode. So we will go to component mode, and now we will go to this P. P is for pick devices, right? These are the devices that we want to connect. Now we will connect device. So we will go to this, we will click on this pick. So there will be option of pick devices. Now you can connect, you can choose various devices. For example, you can choose analog ICs, Arduino boards available within this, Bluetooth terminals, capacitors, and so on. So we are basically interested in LEDs. So if you don't know in what category you will find your device, so what a good option is available over here in this software is this keyword, so you need to just type led. So once you will write led, automatically the category or the number of options which are available for your specific device will be appearing on your screen. So these are the results. So I will choose led. Okay, normally animated colors are chosen, so I will choose this green color. And you can see that animated bi color led model red slash green, so it will self flash while you will turn it on. So you need to, I'm choosing this led, you can choose another one, but I'm choosing it because it will show the color while we will simulate or while we start our simulation. So let's select this led and then press ok. Once you will press ok, you will see that you earlier we were just able to see this PIC 18F452, which is over here, and now we can also see LED BIRG. So just click on this and then click over here somewhere. So as you will click it, you can see that now there is an LED which should be connected with RB1. So I'm just putting it here, and this is the positive terminal. Since I hope you know it, that this is the P side and this is negative side, and you will connect with your P side with RB1. If it is not visible, what I can do, I can zoom in for you. I have to go to selection mode, this arrow selection mode, and then I can click over here. And just to visualize you guys, I'm just look, this is a P side mode and this is connected to pin of the microcontroller, which is IP. So I'm going to zoom in now again, zoom out again. Okay, and now I will choose it here. So we will actually choose it. Yes, and now I'm zooming, adjusting the position, zooming out or zooming in, where you can actually visualize it properly. Okay, I think that's okay. Now we have to go to component mode again. Now this P side or P terminal of this LED is connected with the P pin, which is RB1, and now this negative terminal will be connected to the ground. So we will click on this terminal mode, because you can find various terminals. Ground is basically terminal which you can find here input, output, even power or BCC as well. So what we are interested in here in ground, so we will click ground and then we will click over here. So you can see that there is a ground option. I hope it is visible to everyone. If it is not, I'm going to zoom in again so that everybody can watch it. Yes, I hope it is clear to everyone now. And then you have to connect that ground with your negative side terminal. So now our circuit is complete. What we need that specific machine code which should be written in this controller, and then we will turn on the simulation, and this task will be observed, or result of the task will be observed here, that this LED will glow, right? So how we can load the machine code, for those who don't know, we have already build the code here in MPLAB environment, but the machine code is present in the same directory where you have saved this assembly file, which is let me show you. This is Proteus tutorial, right? Proteus tutorial.asm, but we are interested in hex file, which is machine code. So I will choose a path from in the Proteus environment. Let me again zoom in so that, yes. Okay, now it's okay. So how you will do it, you will click on this device, right click on this device, and then there will be an options. You have to go to edit properties. Let me explain again. You have to click on the device and right click on it, and then added properties. So in added properties, you can find program file. Program file is basically what program file is, your hex file or machine file that you have to actually adjust here. So you have to browse it here, and then you have to choose the specific directory. So in my case, it is my C document, so I'm choosing it, and it is the last built-in file. So this is Proteus tutorial.hex. I'm not choosing .asm, I'm choosing hex file, right? So I'm giving the path of this hex file and open it up, right? So this file is saved here. Now one thing more for those who are implementing this to do this microcontroller program or microcontroller simulation in Proteus very first time, you also need to choose your crystal oscillator as well, that you can define from here, and it is right now 4 megahertz. But in our case, we are not interested in crystal oscillation or oscillator frequencies, because we are not dealing with any kind of timer circuitry. In later lectures and coming labs we will see these things, but right now we are concerned only with program files. So I have just given the path of program file, and now I'm gonna press OK. Okay, now everything is done. What we need to do, we need to just turn on this LED, or sorry, turn on this simulation. So how you can do it? You go here, you see this run simulation. I hope you can see the message over here. So if you go on this play button, this is basically run simulation. The next button is advancing simulation by 1 frame. There is pause button, and there is a stop simulation button. And the value, or the for function of the purpose, is basically written in this bar, in the message bar, which is written here. As you can see right now, it is dictating this. It is just sheet 1, because we are using just sheet 1 or one schematic diagram. So once you will go to different options, you can actually see their different names as well. For example, we go to selection mode. You see here, this is our selection mode, right? Let me highlight the area for those who are still unable to figure it out. I'm talking about this area of our look, this area. So in this area, you can actually see root sheet. So right now we are on this sheet. If I go to this arrow, it will actually look, this is selection mode now. If I go to component, it will become junction dot, terminals, device pins, and there are various terminals. So we will go to this run simulation button and turn it on, right? So if you turn it on, you will see that LED will glow. I hope you can see that. So once your programmer counter reaches to that position where your code is placed, which is basically 2A hex in program memory, so this program will start to be executing, and this is our turning on the LED program. And remember that we have put this code in infinite loop, so unless we stop this simulation, this LED will glow, right? So if I want to stop the simulation or pause it, I can use these buttons, stop buttons. So this LED is now not glowing, because we have stopped the simulation. And what infinite loop I'm talking about? I'm talking about this infinite loop, this branch repeat, and we are forcing it back towards this label, right? So this task, which is defining the value or sending the value 1 to the port B RB1 or pin number RB1. So that's how this task is being done. I hope you have understand how we can actually simulate various microcontroller programs, especially involving PIC18F452. Because in this tutorial we are just learning about PIC18F452. So hopefully you have understand how you can build your project in Proteus environment, how you can import hex file into the IC of microcontroller, and how you can connect various peripheral devices. Right now we are just using one output device as a peripheral component, and that is our LED. So we see different modes of available within the Proteus environment. There are various functions which you can do in that Proteus environment, but we will be covering those functions in coming lectures as per our needs. So that's it from this lecture. If you have any confusion, you can post your comments in comment section. Thank you so much for listening.